Bentley. He did not attempt a shot in Game 1 until the team was already down by 20 points. Wow. And he is getting ready to go, entering the arena. And in studio, we have a very special guest.
Blocked from behind by Tony Allen. Counts down the oop to Tony Allen. Didn't happen from Tony Allen. Tony will cap it.
His passion and desire, you can't teach.
The Grizzlies will retire his number. For what he has meant to this city and to this franchise, it's a no-brainer.
Hello again, basketball fans, and welcome to Game Time. Rick Kamler with David Griffin, Ryan O'Hollins, and first team all defense. We have Tony Allen. We have the grindfather himself. It is great to have you on NBA TV. Welcome to the ride, man.
Much love. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So I want to know from you, Tony. We'll talk to Griff and Ryan throughout this one-hour show as well. The Cleveland Cavaliers need to play better defense. They need the grit and grind that you brought to Memphis and Boston and wherever else you were.
Most definitely. Playing with a guy like Jeff Green, I think he's one of the catalysts who could probably set that tone. But playing defense, it's like you gotta start somewhere, and it's a snowball effect, and it's contagious. But they all have to do it collectively, and they have to start soon in this series.
All right, I want you guys talking about this guy right here real quick. Ryan, just your thoughts on Tony Allen.
For one, this is one of my favorite teammates of all time, and he knows that there's just an energy and charisma that Tony has brought to the energy, to the locker room, night in and night out. And for me, I appreciate his craft because we always look at the offense, but defensively, what Tony brings to the table, he breaks every single rule you can imagine, and he locks down guys. He'll do the impossible. I mean, you can't guard that guy straight up. Tony guards him straight up. You can't guard two guys at the same time. I've seen him do it. So T.A., not only one of my favorite teammates, but I mean, an elite basketball player.
I just don't know how we can do a highlight package leading into the introduction of the grindfather and not show him mauling somebody defensively.
Yeah, they have my offensive game going on that highlight.
I mean, that's not why they call him the grindfather. The dunking on the open rim, not what he's known for. Tearing somebody apart on the defensive end is what it was all about. And when you become known as the grindfather in a place that was all about overachieving and the grit and grind of the defensive side of the ball, that guy knows how to win in the playoffs for that alone.
Yeah. And you just said it. I mean, defense equals winning, and T.A. certainly did a whole bunch of that. Pleasure to have him here. He'll be here throughout the night on NBA TV. Let's dive in with some headlines, y'all. Victor Oladipo had a playoff career-high 32 points in Sunday's win. Also added six threes, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. He was incredible. LeBron James had 24, 10, and 12 in Sunday's loss for his 20th career playoff triple-double, becoming the second player all-time with 20 or more playoff triple-doubles, and he's trying to ignore Lance. Good luck with that. George Hill and the Cavaliers were 8 of 34, or 23.5% from three-point range in Game 1, while the Pacers were a sizzling 11 of 28, or 39% from deep. And we take a look at LeBron quarter by quarter. They were down 19 at the end of the first. 2 points on 3 shots, no made field goals. Got it cooking a little bit in the second quarter, and you can see the plus-minus improved even better in the third, and then it tailed off in the fourth when they were minus 10. Now, after shoot-around today, LeBron said, I can dominate any way you like.
My game of taking over a game is part facilitating. I've never changed my game. That's the only way I've been. If you look at any of my all-time high in scoring, I'm still giving you 8, 9, 10 assists. It's just who I am. I mean, I'm not, I don't go into a game saying I need to dominate scoring, and it's just I play the game the right way. That's just how I was taught. That's how my game is built. So facilitating is part of me, kind of dominating the game.
So then tonight, what are we looking at? 40, 15, and 15? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we have TNT's Allie LaForce live from Cleveland. And Allie, what have you heard about LeBron's mindset for tonight's game? Different than Game 1?
Well, what you've heard consistently is we all need to be more aggressive, but define being aggressive, because you heard LeBron right there say, I was aggressive from the start. Me being a facilitator is me being aggressive and assertive, and we just talked to Coach Lou moments ago, and he said, hey, we drew things up for LeBron early in the game, quite a bit actually, but he always made the best basketball play, and that's how LeBron plays. That's how he wants to play. That's how he's always been known. But Coach Lou said, I guess what I'm going to have to do is draw up plays where he has no option other than to score and go to the basket. I can't give him the option of making a better basketball play. So he said, I will make sure he gets to the basket and scores the basketball early in this game. Kevin Love also came out and said, yes, I need to post up more and stop fading away from the three, be aggressive myself, but I expect LeBron to set the tone aggressively in this game. So all the pressure riding on him, not that that's any different from the regular season, but they're going to make sure he scores early.
I mean, it's all been on him since he was like 8 years old in Little League and stuff, right? And Allie, you know, I know, everybody watching knows that when you go on the road in the playoffs for the first two games, all you want is a split. You just want to get home court advantage back to yourself. Indiana has already done that. So what are they talking about in terms of not being satisfied and going for the jugular here tonight, kind of like New Orleans did at Portland last night?
I spoke with Victor Oladipo yesterday, and he was so humble, and he had such a great mentality heading into this game. I said, it seems like you figured Cleveland out winning 4 of 5 against them, and I know during the regular season it's not the same basketball team, but he said, we haven't figured anything out. It's all about game by game and making adjustments and playing our best basketball game. So they in no way, shape, or form feel like they own the Cavs because of the results of this season or the results of game one. They're taking it game by game, and they know how important it is to bring it back to the state of Indiana. He has a chip on his shoulder from being traded. He remembers the Dan Gilbert comments, although he's downplayed it quite a bit. And I just think their mentality is right. One thing they've done great is they get back in transition. They're so physical with this Cleveland team, and they also don't switch defensively, so it's a different type of style than the Cleveland's used to seeing with teams switching, which obviously LeBron is a master of breaking down teams that switch. He's a master in general out there on the court. But you got to like Indiana's mentality. They're not afraid.
Allie, really appreciate the time. Great information as always. Enjoy the call tonight with Marv and C-Web, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. Have fun.
All right, Allie LaForce live from the Q in Cleveland now. Griff, former general manager of these Cleveland Cavaliers, you have a ring to prove it. When or if is the Cleveland Cavaliers defense going to arrive? We've been asking this question for now 83 games.
Well, it's interesting. We were all talking about it offset as well. I think there's two things that have gone on that have really hurt them. One, they turned the ball over quite a bit. They gave up 20 points on 17 turns. For Indiana, that's a recipe for success on the road. It helps them get comfortable, which makes it more difficult on your set defense. But the biggest issue for Cleveland, and LeBron talked about it today, because of all the injuries they've had since the trades, they really have no familiarity or chemistry together on the defensive side of the ball. They don't have a lot of trust there. So the way they're going to have to overcome that, I think Coach Lou's going to have to play some guys that he does know have continuity and chemistry together. And I think he's going to have to play the guys that have more dog in them and just on an individual level are more about that side of the ball.
And Ryan, what did Indiana do? Cleveland had 80 points in game one. What did Indiana do defensively on them?
Well, they were physical. They knocked them off their spots, and they said, well, if LeBron is going to beat us, that's one thing, but the rest of these guys can't get going because then you are in for a long night. You know, if LeBron's scoring, he's facilitating, you really don't have a shot. So they were physical, and not only that, this is a very athletic Indiana Pacers team, and they're matching up very well, and they've got the biggest thing right now, confidence.
Yeah, they sure do, and that confidence will be on display tonight, and the Cavs will be tested. Again, like I said with the New Orleans thing, not too many people outside of New Orleans thought they were going to go to Portland and win that game. They did because they kept their eye on the prize. Now, Tony, we all love the theater between Lance Stevenson and LeBron James. So I want you to enter the fray on that. Do you think he's actually getting into the head of LeBron James?
No whatsoever. You see the stat line LeBron had 24, 10, and 12. This guy here has been into this stage before. Actually, he's going at a steady pace, if you ask me. The guy didn't shoot no shot, 2 shots in the first quarter, and he kind of paced himself through. I think if LeBron take a different approach, we probably wouldn't even talk about Lance Stevenson right now.
What kind of different approach?
Just attacking from the start, just being more aggressive and forcing his will on the game. I think it'll put Lance in foul trouble, get some of those bigs in foul trouble, and it'll go Cleveland way, I believe.
One more quick question for you. Does anybody foul anybody harder in the NBA than Lance Stevenson on LeBron James?
No, Lance kind of put it to he put it to the test. And a lot of people, you know, probably kind of like that, you know, considering LeBron James' arrogance.
Okay, all right. We get an arrogance reference here early on from Tony Allen, and we were just getting started on Game Time. I like that, by the way. Coming up, we'll have the latest on former Pacer Paul George's hip and Donovan Mitchell's foot as we approach Game 2 from OKC tonight on NBA TV.